So good afternoon, and I think I'll say hearty welcome to this afternoon session because anyway it's so warm that you might just boil over if I say warm welcome. And today's session is on projective techniques and how to use projective technique in adult learning process. So I now, as we are advancing in the use of adult um learning methodologies, I'm going to run it the way that it is supposed to run. And then later on at the end of the session, we will look at what are projective techniques, and then we will do the conceptualizing part after the reflective observation part. So now you are going to engage in an exercise, and I want all of you to take out your notebooks and pens. So once you're ready, please raise your hand or let me know that you have your notebook and pen with you. So I give you a couple of minutes to make yourself ready, and then we start. Are you good to start? How will I come to know?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Anupam.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Uh, fine. So I'm starting. What we are going to do is an exercise which is to test your creative imagination. So what you're going to do is you're going to see a series of 6 pictures. I'm going to show you each picture for 30 seconds. So see the picture as carefully as you can, and then you will have 5 minutes to make up the story. There are 4 questions which can help you and guide you in making up the story. You can note down these questions, or maybe later on I will come back and replay these questions for you while you're writing the story. So what is happening? Who are the persons? What has led up to this situation? That is, what has happened in the past? What is being thought? What is wanted? By whom? What will happen? What will be done? So these questions will help and enable you to think and cover all the elements of a plot in the time allotted.
Please repeat the last question slide. I would just have a click, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Which line you want me to repeat? What is happening?
Yeah.
Who are the persons? What has led to the situation? What has happened in the past? What is being thought? What is wanted? By whom? What will happen and what will be done? Now, these questions are only to guide you. It is not that you have to limit your story writing to these 4 questions only. So plan to spend about a minute or so on each question. I will keep telling you the time when it is about to finish, and then you must get ready for the next picture. You will have little time to finish your story before the next picture. Obviously, there are no right or wrong stories. So you can feel free to write whatever story is suggested to you when you look at a picture. Your language, punctuation, grammar, these are not important. What is important is that you write out as fully and as quickly as possible the story that comes into your mind as you imagine what is going on in each picture. Don't merely describe the picture. To make your story interesting, make it vivid, dramatic, because this is a test of creative imagination. And in the six pictures that I'm going to show you, don't connect the pictures. They're all separate pictures, so please write separate stories. And work as fast as you can in order to finish in time. No questions will be answered once we start. Also, please do not say anything. Anyway, this medium does not allow you. Then you see the pictures. Okay. So what should I do? I will escape and I will copy this slide and put it at the end of each picture so that these four questions are always displayed to you. Now I'm going to show you the first picture, and this I'm going to show you the picture for 30 seconds. So please look at the picture. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
All right. Please start writing your story because I have now started timing you for the next 5 minutes. Now I'm going to show you the second picture for 30 seconds. Your time starts now. Please start writing. Your time has been started. 5 minutes. Story. All right. Start writing. Your time starts now. And now we are going to see the final picture, because I thought that if I show you 6, it will take too much time. So in the interest of time, we will see only 4 pictures. This is the last and final picture which you are seeing for 30 seconds. All right. So please start writing your story. Your time starts now. Stop. Uh, please stop writing your stories. And so how are you feeling? There are 4 feelings: sad, mad, bad, glad. How are you feeling after writing
Glad.
these posts? Okay. Let's hear some more responses.
Glad and very creative thoughts going on.
Okay, very good.
Sad,
So
ma'am,
simply
because I
one.
missed third picture.
All together, what happened? But out of 4 you could write 3 at least.
Two.
Huh? 2.
Only two because of internet problem.
Acha, doesn't matter. You have at least written 2, no? That's
Yeah.
fine.
Thank you.
I feel very glad, ma'am, because it's again a repetition of the earlier experience. Like 20 years back, I appeared for SSB interviews in Bangalore, and it was the same type of questions in thematic appreciation test, where they actually put pictures and you had to write a story in 5 minutes. So it is exactly the same repetition after a very long period of time.
Yeah, in fact, I was thinking when you would say this, because this test is used in
Psychometric.
SSB.
Yes.
Yeah, it is used in SSB selection interviews. Were the same pictures used or were different pictures used?
It can be anything, ma'am. It is just your bent of mind and how you actually think, the attitude.
No. Even those pictures which they use, they are scientifically tested for reliability and validity.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah,
But
so you just can't pick up any picture. I'll talk to you about it.
okay.
In terms of what pictures you can pick up, there is no randomness in the pictures. That's why I asked this question specifically. But I was just curious to know whether in SSB they use the same pictures or they use different pictures.
There are different pictures for different stories, and I'm sure Anupam also is here. He's from the army background. He's a brigadier, so he must be having the experience. He also has, faced the SSB interviews at one point of his life.
Yeah. So definitely, I was telling Kaushal Saab before we did the session, I was telling him that those who are from the army background will be able to relate to this exercise because this technique is used in SSB selection. Um, okay, so thank you very much, and I hope it was a refreshing experience to you after so many years.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, I am not from the army. I am from a software
Ah.
services domain. I mean, I
Ah.
chose actually to join the software services due to some circumstances at my home. I mean, there was a
Ah.
Kargil war in 2000, and my parents didn't allow me to
Ah.
join IMA. But yeah, I mean,
Ah.
these things are very close to my heart, and I feel again reconnected.
Okay, very nice, wonderful. And Brigadier Saab, is he on the
Yes.
Yes,
Zoom
yes,
today?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, nostalgic. Please, like
Nostalgic.
Arvind said, like Arvind was
Ah.
saying, I was taken back to my SSP. It has been many, many summers back in Allahabad. If I remember, I actually, it is so long back that I don't remember the details very clearly.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
what I remember is they used to show us a picture for 30 seconds. And
Yes.
there were 10 such pictures. And you had to
Yeah.
write a story for each of them. And
Yeah.
the story was just about 4 or 5 lines, not more.
Yeah.
Basic thoughts. And
Yeah.
apart from this, I remember one more.
What association is?
In SSB, as part of your psychological profiling, they used to do a word. That word was shown for 10 seconds. And
Yes,
within
yes.
those 10 seconds, you had to write your first thought for the word. Like glass. If the word is glass, you can write glass is used for drinking water, glass is used to make windows. So whatever it is, and that word would be there only for I think 10 or 15 seconds. You have to write your thoughts in that. No amount of coaching will ever teach you how to fudge those because the time is so short.
Because and also because spontaneously you have to respond.
Yes,
So the
absolutely.
first thing which comes to your mind.
Absolutely.
So I'm so grateful to both of you for having shared your experience, because the word which you kept using was thought, you know, and really a projective technique is used to see your thought process. Ki, how do you think? However, why is it called a thought process? Because if the psychologist directly asks you a question, you may give a desirable answer. Not really, not you means anybody, and not really the answer that is true to our personality. And so therefore they use a projective technique in which they show you pictures, and this is thematic a perception test. There are other tests also, like he rightly said, but we will do that at the end of the session. I'll just give you a run through of those tests, because we need to be trained psychologists to use those tests. But thematic perception test is a test in which you just need training to be a accredited achievement motivation trainer, and then you can run these tests on people. So what was the real purpose of running these tests? For some time, I'm going to spend with you on the theoretical aspect of it, and then we will look at our stories. So David McClelland did work on the connection between the person and the economic rise of the civilization. So there's a lot of disturbance. Is it from my end, the disturbance?
Ma'am, someone's mic.
Yeah. Is okay now. It's gone. So what David McClelland said was that what accounts for the rise in civilizations, and how do societies become achieving societies? So he said that it is not the external resources like markets, minerals, trade routes, or factories, but the entrepreneurial spirit which exploits those resources. And this is a spirit which is found in businessmen. So he said that when you give foreign aid to a poor nation and you think that it will develop rapidly thereafter, he said it is not simply by handing over money to their politicians or to their budget makers that will cause the development of that country. But how will the development happen? When they use that money in ways that will select and develop those business executives who have a vigorous entrepreneurial spirit and a strong drive for achievement. And this is what today India is also talking about, making people self-reliant and spreading education on entrepreneurship, so that instead of becoming job seekers, they become job providers. In other words, what McClellan said, he was a Harvard psychologist, was invest in a man, not just in a plan. So in what direction to develop a man so that he becomes a entrepreneur or he becomes an excellent executive who can make great value creation wherever he is working. McClellan said that it is the human motive, why I do what I do, which is largely responsible for economic growth. Now, what is the human motive that makes the businessman to think? He said that everyone thinks that money is the motive. And then he quotes the fight between the Marxists and the capitalists. And he says that, you know, people think that an entrepreneur works for money only. But what McClellan researched and found out was that it was a strong desire for achievement, for doing a good job, and profit was the feedback of whether the job had been well done or not. So he said that achievement goal, that is achieving something with a standard of excellence in a performance related situation, is the motive behind doing excellent work, and this is the main motive of an entrepreneur. It is not the only motive, but it is the main motive of an entrepreneur. Now, the achievement goal. So the next question that arises is, what exactly do we mean by the desire for achievement, and how do we measure this desire for achievement in individuals? So he said that psychologists try to find out that what is it that a man spends his time thinking about? What does he spend his time daydreaming about? What does he think about in his leisurely time, when he is all by himself or he is not engaged in a special job? So what do you think is very important? Now, there are three kinds of areas or needs which he divided it into. He said, does he think about his family and friends, about relaxing, watching TV, about, you know, how do we have family get-togethers? How can I build relationships with people? Or is he thinking about how do I get the superior off my back? Or how do I win over this person? How do I become a person who occupies a position of power? Or does he think and plan how he can sell to a particular customer? How can he cut production costs? Or how can he invent a better stream trap, toothpaste tube? Or how can he create a new product, a unique product? Now he's saying that if a man spends his time thinking about doing things better, the psychologist says he has a high concern for achievement. In other words, he cares about achievement. Otherwise, he would not spend so much time thinking about it. है ना? Because अगर आप अपने भी thought processes को एनालाइज करें तो कई चीजें होती हैं जो आपके कंसर्न की नहीं होती है और कोई आपसे आके बात करता है उसके बारे में, छोड़ो यार क्या है, देयर आर मोर इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग्स टू डू. तो वो मोर इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग आपके लिए क्या है? So if he spends his time thinking about family and friends, he has a concern for affiliation. जरा किसी में झगड़ा हुआ, चले गए भैया हारमोनी बनाने के लिए, अरे यार मैं सॉरी और ये वो this that. Does he speculate about the boss? Then he has about being a boss. Who is the boss? Then he has a need for power. Now, what McClelland says is that it is, I have not found it too helpful simply to ask a person about his motives, interests and attitudes. Now this is the reason he is saying why he used this projective technique. He says often he himself does not know very clearly what his basic concerns are. Even more often, he may be ashamed or cover them up, especially when it comes to power and things like that. मैं तो बड़ा humble बंदा हूँ. So what we do is to try and get a sample of his normal waking thoughts by asking him just to tell a few stories about some pictures. Now, what the score for each individual story represents is, when we will score the stories, and I will teach you how to score the stories, and we will score at least one story for each person, is क्योंकि अब उन्होंने बताया आपको कि सेल्फ सिलेक्शन बोर्ड में एसएसबी में 10 स्टोरीज दिखाते हैं. जब हम अचीवमेंट मोटिवेशन की ट्रेनिंग करते हैं तो हम 6 स्टोरीज दिखाते हैं. आज मैंने आपको 4 दिखाई बिकॉज I don't need to be conducting anything. I just have to tell you about projective techniques, and I wanted to tell it to you in an experiential mode. So the frequency with which he tends to think spontaneously. उन्होंने कहा ना कि ग्लास दिखाते हैं और बस 10 सेकंड के लिए दिखाते हैं, तुरंत बताना पड़ता है. And then they change the word. So spontaneously in achievement terms, then that is not clearly expected of him. Because what I wrote over there in the heading was that this is a test of creative imagination. Since the instruction for the test urge him to relax and to think freely and rapidly. Now the point is that you may say, कि think करके करना क्या है? So I think Indian ethos में तो ऐसा कोई दिक्कत नहीं होता है हमें सोचने के लिए, because यहाँ पे Indian context में बहुत emphasis दिया जाता है that thinking makes it so. As you think, so are your actions and the outcome. So McClelland said that what good are people who think like this all the time? He says that such people are always in a mental state of readiness to do things when the occasion arises. And then he says, of course, you may think this is an assumption, that just because I think how to do things better, or just because I'm all the time concerned with improvement, improving myself, beating the standards of other people, or having a unique achievement or a long-term goal. You remember I showed you the film Manji in the 2nd or 3rd session, how he had a long-term goal of making that road. So he says, but research has proved him to be correct, that they make good business executives, they make good entrepreneurs, and they are readier to do things whenever the occasion arises. Now, so we say that a person with a high need for achievement has certain characteristics which enables him to work best in certain types of situations that are to his liking. And entrepreneurial jobs provide him more opportunities for making use of these talents than do other jobs. Yeah. So when we see these stories, what do we test them for? We test them for the saturation of thoughts with the need to achieve. And then we try to increase their urge, desire for achieving goals with a standard of excellence, because entrepreneurship can be taught. It is not that an entrepreneur is born, you know. And nowadays, particularly, we see many first generation entrepreneurs coming up. So, but your inner desire, your motivation is what will move you in the direction of achieving a goal with a standard of excellence. So motivation is defined, comes from the root word, Latin root word, which means mover, which means that what is it that moves you to action? What is it that helps you to initiate, move in a particular direction? Is the intensity and of your desire. Otherwise, you will very soon lose the fire within you to achieve something. It is a process through which one takes an action to reach the desired goals. Now, if you look at it diagrammatically, this is how it looks. That motivation is the set of forces that causes people to behave in a certain way. It all starts with your thinking. It starts with a desire. Your desire makes you think in a particular direction. And if your thoughts are very intense, if they are persistent, they become the driving force for action to achieve a desired goal, and which provides you with fulfillment, but also with feedback, whether you want to do it the same way, you want to do better, you want to do differently, so on and so forth. Now, to develop an achievement motivated person, we have to first check what is the saturation of his thoughts, his ability to think, talk, act, and perceive the world as a person with a high need for achievement. And therefore, you have written these stories so that your real thought process is getting projected onto the characters in the story. So, achievement imagery. Now, these are the points you have to start noting, because now I am telling you how to score the stories. So, it has 4 indicators: desire for success in competition with others, desire for success in competition with self-imposed standard of excellence, unique accomplishment, and long-term involvement. When you read your stories, if any one of these elements is present in the story, we say that this story can be marked for achievement orientation. So let me give you short examples. That first one, desire for competition with others. Here, one of the characters in the story is engaged in some competitive activity. It is explicitly stated what he wants most of all to win, or to do as well as or better than others. He wanted very much to win the tournament. So we never make guesses. We only analyze the story based on the exact words which are written. He wants to be the best salesman in the firm. These are some examples. Now, desire for success in competition with self-imposed standard of excellence. This is very easy. This is last time I attained 4 marks. Now I want to attain 5 marks. The criteria of the stories containing explicit statements. I repeat this. To the effect that a character wants to do a good, thorough workman like job, such as he wants to find the most efficient way to do the job. And then you say unique accomplishment. So unique accomplishment, all of you understand that he wants to do something which is new and something which is extraordinary. And the last one is long-term involvement in any project. So we say he wants to be successful in life, he wants to be an executive, he wants to work through, like Manji, you remember, he उसको कितने साल लग गए थे वो रोड बनाने के लिए, लेकिन वो उसी तरह से persevere करता रहा single handedly till that road got made. So this is what is called long term involvement. Like research particularly comes in this kind of an area. Now, when evidentially any of these 4 things are not there in your story, but so then it can be scored for 2 other things. When the explicit goal is not written, but there is an approximate goal, we say doubtful achievement imagery. And if there is no goal present, then we say unrelated imagery. You've understood? So you will score the stories which you have written, and you will be divided into groups and groups of 4. So what you are going to do is you will take up one picture from each of the 4 stories which were shown of each person. So like if the first picture was picked up and the group went through and found explicit evidence of any one of the 4 achievement criteria, that desire for success in competition with others, desire for success in competition with self-imposed standard, or unique accomplishment, or long-term involvement, then you can score the story and say achievement imagery. It's written on top over here, achievement imagery. If you do not find anything, or if you find doubtful, then you will say doubtful, or if you do not find anything, you will say unrelated imagery. Now, after you have done one person's story, you will go to the second person, but then you will pick up a different theme, different picture which I showed you. Like that, in your group of 4, you should have covered scoring all the different pictures. But for each person, it will be only one picture which will be scored. And on the basis of that, you can later on in your free time, you can score the rest of the stories. So I will give you a total of 10 minutes to do that. Actually, we are exceeding time, Kaushal ji. So I wanted to ask your permission that can we extend the session by 15 minutes? Is it okay?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Right.
then I request Alok, please divide them into groups of 4 and let them start their work. I'll keep this, all of you switch on your cameras. And how will I get a view of everybody? I want to understand.
You select the gallery view.
Gallery, very nice. Okay. So are we all back?
Yes, ma'am. Everyone is back.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone's back? So how was your experience? Where were your confusions?
Some confusion is regarding the scoring thing. Rest, everything was really nice and interactive. So really enjoyed it.
So, okay, which is the story? Can you read out? Then I'll help you to score it.
Like, ma'am, in picture 1, what I have perceived it that they are two people talking to each other, and they are having a, it seems to be that they are having a good bond. And it seems that one person is telling about his life lessons to the other one, and it seems the weather seems to be relaxing, like a sunny day in winters. And it, for to me it seems that the one person who is
No,
sitting on the
Shivani,
fence.
hold on. I'm stopping you. Read your story exactly as you have written it, verbatim.
Okay, 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 okay.
Verbatim.
Okay. Two people are talking. It seems they are having a good conversation going on. Out of the two, one seems to be a good listener and trying to learn from the other person, who seems to give lifetime lessons, as he seems to me that he is much more experienced and learned. It seems that the person sitting is really enjoying the conversation. Weather seems to be relaxing, like a sunny day in winters. They might be having a discussion on interesting topics like latest movie, real life incidents, sports, etc. They seems to have a good bond with each other. It seems that one is a child sitting on the fence, and the other one who is standing is like his father's friend or his relative.
All right.
That's it.
So, okay, thank you.
Welcome.
So, what is the goal in the story? Who is the
Goal
hero? Who is the hero of the story?
The one who is listening. No, sorry. The one who is sharing his experience.
The one who is sharing his experience is your story, is
No, no.
your hero.
Yes.
All right. What is the goal of the hero?
To
Explicitly
give life
read
lessons.
from, no.
Okay.
Read from there.
To share his life lessons with him on various topics like movie, sports, or real life incidents.
All right. What is the goal of the person who is sharing on movies and who is sharing on whatever the other two things you have written? What is the goal of that person to share this experience to the other person? For what reason is he sharing it?
For the motivation purpose.
What motivation?
On how to lead life.
But you have not explicitly written it there, no?
No.
It's
I've
not
written the
written.
story. No, I've written
You
the
have
story.
but you have not explicitly mentioned any goal that he was sharing. Like for instance, so this story will be scored in this particular case on unrelated imagery, or because if I were to score it otherwise, right, because I have not taught you like this, it would be scored on affiliation motivation, because the goal of the hero appears to be to build a better bond with this person. It is not to improve his performance.
Yes.
Is that correct? He is not
Yes.
sharing his life lessons to help him to improve his performance.
Yes.
You've understood, no? So
Yes.
we cannot score it for achievement motivation.
Okay, got it.
You
Now
got
understood. Yes,
Now
ma'am.
understood?
Yes.
Did your
So
group
ma'am,
tell you
then
the
this
same?
will go in which head then? If not,
Unrelated imagery.
no, unrelated, but
Because
ma'am, this is Divya Jyoti here. Yes. You just now used a particular word, affiliation, motivation.
yeah, actually, Divya, this is not the end of the scoring of the story. This is the beginning of the story.
Okay.
So the first thing we see is achievement goal present or not present?
Okay.
Right?
Right, ma'am.
If achievement goal is not present,
Okay.
just say unrelated imagery.
Okay. Fine.
Which means that it is not related to achievement motivation.
Okay.
That's all. Period. ठीक है, इसके और 10-11 elements होते हैं, but this session is not on achievement motivation. this session is on projective techniques. And
Okay.
my purpose is to tell you how projective techniques are used. And the simplest one that I chose was thematic perception test, because इसमें आप training लेके बाद में इसके में deeper जाके you can after you become an accredited trainer for achievement motivation, you can use this technique. The rest of the projective techniques are all, you have to have psychological background for using those techniques. Is that okay?
Okay. Okay,
But
ma'am.
I hope, yeah, thank you. So Shivani, thank you so much. First of all, it requires a lot of courage in a group to share your story. And I think that because you shared your story, you know, the others could also become very clear about how to score the story.
You're
You've
welcome,
understood,
ma'am.
no?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So the first thing we look at is who is the hero. Then we look at what is the hero doing? What is the hero's goal? Why is the hero doing what he is doing? Is he doing it because he wants to improve standards set by self, to improve standards set by others, for a unique accomplishment, or for achieving a long-term goal? If he is not doing any one of the four things, or if his end objective is not any one of the four, we do not score the story for achievement imagery. Is that clear?
Yes.
Fine. So like that, you would have, why I asked you to do it in a group is because we become very subjective about our own stories, you know. But when you do it, the scoring in a group, what happens is that the other three people provide a very objective view to you on your own story. So this is the reason. And the remaining three stories, I would urge you that very objectively usko baith ke aur dekhiye. This will show you. I'll start the screen sharing. Yeah. So this will show you that what is the saturation of the thoughts that the person has to think, talk, act, and perceive the world as a person with a high need for achievement. If the theme is repeatedly coming in the stories, or if it is coming in 4 out of 6 stories, or 5 out of 6 stories, or the motivation. Now, the remaining tests are Rorschach's ink blot test, and this is ink blot test with, you know, in which ink is put in the paper and then these blots are made and then people are asked to look at these pictures and then to make it. But this is used more for schizophrenia and for anxiety disorders and depressions, and it has to be only administered by a psychologist and interpreted by a psychologist. So we as trainers, you know, are not advised to use this projective technique, but you can know about it. Then there is a house tree person test in which a person is asked to draw a house and a tree. And this is also for mental disorders. Then there is what is called as a children's perception test, which has similar pictures like this, and but it is in the context of children. Then there is a verbal projective test where a word is projected and then people are asked to associate with that. And then there is Holtzman ink blot test. Now, the advantages of using a projective technique is that it is helpful when the issues to be addressed are personal, sensitive, subjective to strong social norms. It is helpful when underlying motivations, beliefs, and attitudes are operating at a subconscious level. Projective technique can be used in marketing. Projective tests are useful in business. And the limitations are that it needs highly qualified and experienced professionals. It is expensive. It has risk of interpretation bias. It is an unstructured technique, and it has low psychometric characteristics, that is reliability, validity का हम कह नहीं सकते, and it depends on the person who is interpreting the thing. That's why I chose thematic apperception test, because इसमें बहुत clear है what you need to look at, and out of the projective techniques, this is the easiest one. So thank you very much for your participation, and I sincerely hope that this has given you some insights into your own thinking pattern in terms of an achievement oriented person, and at the same time has provided you a method of understanding, just understanding, I'm not saying conducting, just understanding how projective techniques are used in order to understand the workings of the mind in a training situation.
Ma'am, Jyoti, Divya Jyoti here again. I would like to, hello?
Yeah, Divya.
Ma'am,
I'm
what
listening.
psychometric test would fall under which domain? We also conduct those. So,
Psychometric tests are those which are like your MBTI, Myers-Briggs type indicator, like your questionnaire type of tests, where you know you get definitive results, and those tests are their validity and reliability factors are high, and of course इनके भी high होते हैं, but ये unstructured होते हैं, वो बहुत structured होते हैं.
Hanji, that's true. Yes.
वो बहुत structured होते हैं.
So
Although
means,
you
ma'am,
take
they are
training-
more reliable in terms of outcomes.
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, ये भी बहुत reliable होते हैं, but the point is that you have to have psychological background and you should be trained properly, and you know ये डॉक्टर वाला काम है, जो डॉक्टर का और जो मतलब बहुत समय तक नर्स के वो जो उनके जूनियर डॉक्टर्स होते हैं सीनियर डॉक्टर के साथ काम करता है, उसको यूज कर करके फिर वो अपनी इंडिपेंडेंस गेन करके अपने इंटरप्रिटेशंस बना सकते
हैं. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Ma'am, I want to ask one thing. You said that we need an expert for this. So as a trainer, how can we utilize this technique in our trainings?
You know, magnetic perception test, projective technique. Out of these, maybe you can use children's apperception test and thematic apperception test, but then you have to become an accredited achievement motivation or entrepreneurial motivation trainer, and then you can use this test, because then you will be taught how to administer this test and taught the full theory and like that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, just before we end, just wanted to know till now how many sessions we have done of yours. I was just trying to recap all of them, so we wanted to be sure of it.
I guess we have done 7 sessions, if I'm
Okay,
not wrong.
7 in all. Okay, fine. Thanks.
Thank you for stepping in.
Thanks.
Because I've lost track.
I usually keep a record of all the classes.
Yeah, though I've attended all of them, ma'am, it was so interesting this time. Again, it was really pleasure and new thing for us to learn. But it was important to recap now all of them in right fashion. So thank you once again.
So next time you are going to come for the session, and you will come prepared, because we are going to look at how to do simulation games and use them in our training.
Right.
So you have to make 20 newspaper को लेके या पेपर को लेके A4 साइज पेपर अगर आपके पास है तो कोई बात नहीं है, उसको 4 इंच बाय 4 इंच के स्क्वायर में आप उसको नीटली काट के और उसको 20 शीट्स 15-20 शीट्स तैयार रखेंगे अपने पास. Is that okay?
Okay, ma'am.
And one of you can take responsibility, and आपकी WhatsApp group है, so before my session just remind each other that ये करना है आपको.
But these has to be plain sheets, or it can be newspaper sheets. Like, what exactly is the thought?
Actually, the thing is that I can post the sheet. I have no problem. But then the thing is that each one of you have to take a print of it. And I don't know how many of you have printers, how many of you don't have printers. That is my concern. So, yeah, so therefore I'm asking you, you can choose newspaper or you can choose one side paper, but उसके dimensions मैं आपको बोल रही हूँ कि it has to be 4 inches by 4 inches square paper बना के आप तैयार रखेंगे.
Right, ma'am.
Plain sheets.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
How many number, ma'am, you said?
20.
20.
20 is better, yeah. 15 to 20 is fine.
Okay.
So, thank you so much. So, Kaushal Saab, thank you very much.
Thank